Episode number 1, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
You guys fucking hate me.
14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
14.
And one of the quotes from the top critic says, Superman 4 seems like a sloppy, low-budget echo of the original. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Nathan, I know you watched it. Trev, did you watch it?
Nah.
What are you going to talk about then?
I remember how horseshit it was.
Some movies are so bad, they're still bad, but maybe also brilliant? Join Nathan, Christo, and Big Trev as they dive headfirst into the cinematic dumpster to unearth the worst-rated films of all time. From forgotten flops to cult catastrophes, they bravely ask the question, is it really that bad? Or is it worth another watch?
Now, can I just, as we've started, I wanted to just touch on the fact that we changed the direction of the podcast. Let's let everybody know that.
Yeah.
We were originally just going to watch good movies, and then Christo had the idea to punish ourselves and watch the worst movies of all time.
Well, what I was thinking, right, is that you have a finite number of minutes in your life. So why not piss them up a wall by watching quite possibly the worst cinema ever? And you've gone and watched this one twice.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because you're a weirdo.
Yeah, watched it with my wife the other night to punish myself, and then I watched it again today just to really let it sink in how crap it was.
So, Trev, you are a massive fanboy of superheroes. You're a big fan of Superman, right?
Yeah, I love Superman, and I'm a big kid. Absolute big kid. I'm the oldest, probably big kid out of this whole group here, so.
Yeah.
But I even remember this as being the worst pile of dog shit I've ever seen in my life, so.
Do you remember where you saw it, Trev? Did
Yeah,
you see
I
in
saw
cinema?
it in Broken Hill at the Silver City Cinema.
Yep.
And I can remember being really excited about it. I said, okay, cool. I wasn't a massive comic book fan back in the day, but I loved my superheroes back in the day. So I knew nothing about Nuclear Man. I was sitting there going, oh, this guy sounds really cool. He's going to be great. It looks the goods. And then when it started, I was like, oh my God, there was a dog outside taking a shit next to a lamppost. I'm going to go watch him to see the popcorn off the ground here. Because it was just...
That's still too good for this movie.
Like, where? Okay, so what? So they did Superman was massive. Christopher Reeve, that movie, the first one, huge.
Yeah, huge, massive.
Number 2,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Number 3 was not great and didn't perform very well. And then they spun it off into like Supergirl.
Yeah.
And that tanked.
Oh, Supergirl was like the worst.
Is that the next one we're going to watch?
I got a mate who does cosplay, and she met the girl that played Supergirl, and she loves it. She dresses up in it, looks the goods. But Jesus Christ, they just got worse and worse as they kept going on.
Now, Nathan, you've got the story behind why they went and did Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Do I? Is there a reason why they did it?
I can't explain it. I don't know.
No, well, they changed directors. They had a huge budget shift right before filming. The plan was they were going to make this one, then they were going to make another Superman, followed by a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, really?
That was the original plan, yeah. The production company that picked it up were like, we're going to do this franchise, we're going to grow it. We're going to pay Christopher Reeve the highest salary he had ever gotten.
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 times more than he previously got.
$6 million US he got for this one.
$6 million. The budget originally before filming was $35 million. So, I guess by today's day and age, it's not much, but back then $35 million was a lot. And then literally right before they started filming, budget was slashed to $17 million.
Yeah.
John Cryer has since come out years later and said they were running out of money while they were filming the movie, so they were just finishing it to get it done.
There was one scene that they were trying to show, like make it look like New York-ish, and it wasn't New York. They literally just put a fire hydrant in the scene, a New York fire hydrant, and pretended that was New York, and that's what made New York.
Really?
Yeah. Well, this is filmed in the UK. This is the other thing people don't realise. It's filmed in the UK.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And a lot of the actors who are in this movie are English.
Oh, okay.
So 2 things off the bat that I noticed with this movie. One, the opening scene when Superman is flying through space, that his cape moves in the wind
And I think the thing is that the reoccurring theme for the whole movie is that Kate moves a lot.
Yes.
Gravity. What is gravity?
Yeah.
Where, they're later on in the film, there's a fight on the moon. What gravity? What are you talking about?
And secondly, when you cut to Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, who is doing time in a quarry, digging dirt, which even in 1987, that wasn't a thing. Sitting there digging dirt in a quarry in like a convict's uniform with a ball and chain around his leg in the cleanest, crispest uniform you've ever seen.
Well, that
literally had been dipped in Omo and White King and then thrown on him, and he was supposed to be doing hard labor.
Well, he's Lex Luthor, man.
Well, he's clearly not doing any work, is he? He's Lex Luthor. He's like, too good for this.
That's why he got the other people to do his work for him.
But speaking of, why would Gene Hackman say yes to a role like this? Gene Hackman could have said no.
It's like most actors.
He'd done some pretty good movies at that point. He was a pretty good actor. Like he was definitely known, and I think him agreeing, I didn't find much on why he agreed to do the film, but that's a huge get for a movie like that. Like at that stage, he was already an accomplished actor. The rest of the cast kind of had only really done Superman.
Oh, you had John Cryer. He did a lot of like rom-coms back in the day, but
he was a younger guy.
He was more of a co-star in those as well, like a second or third actor.
He's got like 10 lines in the whole movie, I think, John Cryer. He's also one of those ones that's wasted.
The thing that got me was his voice the whole way through. I don't think he said anything of any substance. It was just like, yo, dude, okay, yeah, the whole way through the movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he plays like that bubbling idiot, which made no sense for the character. Like he dressed really weird. He was like into weird things. And, we even see it in the very last time we see him when he goes to the boys' home.
You wouldn't happen to have a drum set, would you?
Like that's sort of the bones of his character.
The thing that I was reading about it is that initially they wanted to try and bleed it out into 2 movies, right? And they ended up filming 45 minutes of extra content that never made the final cut of the movie.
Oh.
If you jump on YouTube, people are trying to string it all together, and you can see why they cut 45 minutes out of this movie. Because I tried to watch the extended, like it goes for 87 minutes or something like that, the theatrical release. This one goes for just shy of 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, wow.
And it was a struggle to try and get through but it actually made more sense with the cut bits in it.
Oh, were they building the backstories of the other characters, were they?
Fleshing out the scenes a bit, because all of a sudden, like the thing that I noticed while watching this movie was it went from, all of a sudden he's launched a nuclear warhead, and then this guy's coming out of it, and there was no explanation as to why or how.
Yeah, that they've cut 45 minutes, but they've cut the wrong 45 minutes, clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes that make zero sense. The continuity across those scenes makes no sense. Things just happen for no apparent reason at all. And without the explanation, you're kind of trying to piece the film across the 90 minutes with bits and pieces. And you try to make up the rest in your mind.
So I wasn't the only one then. So no. you thought that as well, because I was all of a sudden sitting there going, where the fuck did this come from? Like that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. And obviously when Nuclear Man gets created, he's first created in the lab with Lex, and they're putting the pieces in the box, and he gives it to the bad guys and says, strap it to the next nuke and we'll shoot it into the sun.
As you do.
But okay, cool. That happens. And then you just all of a sudden appears, this embryo floats out of the sun and then flies down to Earth, and
bang, that's Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
See, when I was watching it as a kid, I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing.
The premise behind it sounds great.
Yeah.
And the original plan was to have Christopher Reeve play an alternate version of himself, I believe.
Which is interesting, because neither of you have seen this yet, but pay attention to the new one.
There you go.
And I don't want to give away anything.
Oh, now I've got to go bloody watch it.
It was a dark and stormy night. These guys were watching the worst movies of all time to find out if it was worth another watch.
So one of the things I watched it again today, and I wanted to go through just scene by scene. So I took some notes on all the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
To just sort of go, okay, what are the bad ones? What are the good ones? There is 2 good ones that I think are in this movie.
Okay.
that most of them are bad. Obviously, we touched on the first opening scene of the cosmonauts in space. From what I believe, that didn't make the theatrical version because of the war with Russia. I think it only was on the DVD version or the VHS version when it came out, but that's poorly done. You can clearly see that he's being dubbed over to speak the Russian language to the guys when he saves them. Yeah. And then we sort of said it before, you touch on, you go to Lex then in the Chain Gang in the mid-'80s, living like he's like in the 1920s. That's not even the worst part of that whole scene. Lenny, John Cryer, traps these two policemen in the car. Only two. There's 25, 30 criminals. There's only two coppers.
You only need two back then.
Traps them in the car, fires them off the cliff 100 feet in the air, and they just basically walk away like nothing happened.
Yeah. Not scratch free, but the two cops come up over and this they must have gone, okay, well, we can't kill them.
No.
We have to show that they're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's kids watching.
So let's start with the first two scenes. You're like, okay, makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then we go to the train scene. So we cut to basically Lois and Clark at this stage trying to catch the train. And Clark misses and then Lois gets on the train and it basically gets out of control. Clark turns into Superman to go save her. And I think delivers the worst line in the whole film at the end of it, where he basically saves the train driver, walks out, and he says,
"He'll be all right. I think he needs a doctor."
"He'll be all right. I think he needs a doctor." And then walks off and then talks about how safe the subway train station is.
Gentlemen, one moment. I'd like all the people back there to know that our subway system is still the safest and most reliable means of public transportation. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like
for this guy right here.
But that's just part of that first lot of scenes. It makes no sense. And then the next big one, obviously, Trev, you'll love this being a huge Superman fan. So Lex and Lenny, they've escaped. They break into a museum or whatever it is. I think it's a museum.
Yeah.
To steal Superman's hair.
Here you can see a 1,000-pound load easily suspended by his single hair.
Yes.
There's one strand of hair holding 1,000-pound ball.
And the weight, yeah.
And he just basically cuts it with a everyday man set of bolt cutters. Yeah. Now, are we pretty sure that Superman's hair is
indestructible?
Slightly stronger than an individual set of bolt cutters?
I'd say so. And what I love is
Swiss Army knife.
The 1,000-pound ball just thuds onto the ground. Doesn't cause any major damage. Does nothing. Just
bounces.
The other part, and while you're speaking, I hope I don't cut you off with this part, is that they simply managed to get around security by staying after the doors had shut. Nobody noticed these two guys loitering around. Then they smash the window. The alarms go off. They still managed to steal the strand of hair.
Yeah.
And I would only assume get out.
Well, there's probably 3 deleted scenes that explain
how they got out.
Before and after of that as well. So thanks for cutting those out.
And the cops were probably related to the people in the Chain Gang.
And probably they went over the cliff as well. God knows. Yeah. All right, continue.
And then we basically go to the point where we skip a few things and then Superman starts collecting nuclear weapons in a net in space. Just floating around. Yep, cool, no worries. And then he proceeds to just fire them off into the sun and explode in the sun with absolutely no recourse.
It's the best hammer throw I've ever seen in my life.
And also, he looks like he's struggling in space.
Yes.
To spin that, even though he's Superman. And then for me, one of the first real big, moments of the film is when Lois goes to visit Clark in the apartment. And then he turns into Superman and flies her around everywhere. This is the first time we see a character, a normal person in space.
No oxygen.
No spacesuit. That's the first time of many.
No assistance at all. Like he wasn't helping her to breathe or anything.
No. And at one stage, he just lets her go and she keeps flying.
Zero gravity, mate. That's what happens.
Isn't that inertia? That's where you continue going after you're
going that fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was obviously the first one of when we see somebody in space. Just, no worries. Oxygen, don't need it.
Nothing.
Nah,
I'll be fine. We'll work it out.
Yeah, fuck oxygen.
And then look, I think we go from there. There's a couple of scenes with Lex when he walks into the army base. Just he's a wanted criminal.
So this is one of the things that one of the notes that I had down is that him and John Cryer managed to don an army uniform, smoke a couple of cigars, put on a hat, and walk straight into a military base unaided, and then simply slip away and no paperwork, no checking of anything.
No paperwork.
And then walk away.
Nothing.
He's also barking orders at the other people in the military.
Yeah, come on through.
Yeah.
It's like he's a wanted criminal who's a mastermind. And we know this from Lex from all the series on all the different films. But just walks in, fires off rockets like it's nothing.
And away he goes.
Yeah. And then I think we go to the first of only 2 good scenes in this whole film.
Okay.
And it's the scene when Clark is working out with Lacey in the gym.
Clark, this is Paul.
Hi.
He's a trainer here.
Nice to meet you. Hey, I got just the thing for you. Over here, Clarky. Clarky?
I think that's the first time we see Christopher Reeve and his comedic timing. I think he does a really good job there. And then the other guy, like Lacey's friend, he's like kind of giving him shit that he's weak and he can't do things and he's sort of throwing weights around when she leaves. I think that's the first time we see some good comedic timing and actually the first good scene of the film.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain?
And then it goes to, I think, is probably the worst scene. And
so we go from the best to the worst. Okay, yeah.
Probably from worst to worst. And it's probably for 2 reasons. 1, it was just bad, but also 2, there was just no lead up to it. It's the birth of Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
Who just appears out of the sun.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so this is the thing that got me. There was literally, and we were just saying this, there was literally no build up to this. It was just all of a sudden, I've created somebody, here he is.
Yeah, I've thrown all these missiles into the sun, bang.
And I think we kind of see that throughout the film too. There's all these scenes that sort of just happen and you're like, oh, okay, that's just randomly now in the movie. But I think that's where the 45 minutes of uncut footage come into it, where it's like, there was probably more to that scene that had some depth that would have helped it.
Would that 45 minutes slot in well with the whole Superman movie?
Yeah, look, I was also reading a few critiques of the movie, and people have said that if you had have left it in, it would have explained a lot more. But they just cut them for time because it just didn't. The movie in its original format didn't test well at all and got so many negative reviews. So they went with a knife and just slashed it and put it out. Yeah,
flushed everything.
So I read that the one of the reasons they cut it so much is so that they could get more sessions on screen to make more money.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh.
So by shortening it down, it would allow them to have more screenings per day, which would result, because they thought it was going to be massive originally, would be a huge film, and would it allow them to have more screenings to then make more money.
So, Trev, Nuclear Man in the comics.
I don't think he was a character. I think he was just a made-up character that they put in.
Okay, for this particular movie.
Yeah.
Because, man, like, if you're going to come up with a superhero, Nuclear Man would fit in the Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Or even the guy that played him, his name was
Mark Pillow.
Mark Pillow. Yeah.
Like, this was the most homoerotic superhero I think I've ever seen.
He still goes around to Comic-Cons and signs because I am still Nuclear Man and blah, 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 and still working out and stuff. But that was his highlight of his career, and he's just riding those until he dies.
It was basically the only movie that he did.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the second one. They originally had another guy who just didn't gel with Christopher Reeve and it wasn't imposing enough. So they went with a guy who had bigger muscles who they thought would play the part a bit better.
Yeah.
And I think he has 8 speaking lines in the whole film.
I made you, I can destroy you. Destroy. Destroy Superman now. You sweet thing. But not quite yet, no.
But the outfit itself would look like a cross between like an 80s fizzy costume and Cher. If you remember, if I could turn back time, it's like just black
straight across.
And with a little bit of Borat thrown in as well.
Not good. Not good. And then I think we go to what I think would be the second only good scene. And you guys might disagree with this. It's the double date scene.
Oh my God.
When
yes,
Lacey's with Clark and Lois is with Superman, and he's playing, obviously swapping in and out of both dates
Oh, yes.
with the other two cast members who sort of float through that scene as well. They do a good job.
That must have been a pain in the ass to shoot.
And I think that's the problem with your budget as well, is when you sort of only got 17 million and there's a lot of reshoots you've got to do there.
Mm.
So you basically got to shoot that full day, probably a full day of shooting twice.
Yeah.
To get those.
That was a really shoddily put together set.
Well, they probably could have made it easier by making two different sets, but back to back.
It was a tough watch.
It really was. All right. So what did anybody go on to after this movie?
Well, the only one who really did anything after this was Gene Hackman.
Yep.
Obviously Christopher Reeve ended up having his accident in 1995.
Yep.
He broke his neck horse riding.
And for doing this movie, though, the company that gave him the salary also greenlit a pet project of his that did absolutely nothing.
Yeah. They didn't have the best track record, these guys, when they're putting things together, did they?
No.
I think they had great ambition. They just sort of lacked that finesse of being able to tie it up.
The one thing that did happen was when John Cryer continued on with his career, he plays Lex Luthor in one of the Superman's TV series later on in life.
Yeah, he did three. He did basically episodes in The Flash, Supergirl. He did 12 episodes in Supergirl. So he came back, which is bit of a full circle moment for John Cryer. Obviously, he played the character in this, Lenny, and then he comes back and plays Lex Luthor later on.
Plays Lex Luthor, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but the rest of the cast, honestly, they went on to do basically nothing. Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder, who played Lois, they basically they had long, especially Margot, she had a long career. But nothing of any relevance. And then Hackman, he did some great movies. You think about the career that he had post this, but then he stopped acting in 2004.
Gene Hackman.
So he didn't act for he obviously passed away this year, but he didn't act for over 21 years. He didn't act.
Wow,
really?
So he just threw out all these bangers in the sort of mid to late 90s.
When was Unforgiven? When did he do that? 97, 98?
Had to have been around then, yeah.
Enemy of the State with Will Smith.
He had a really...
Holy crap.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. He went and did, Mississippi Burning was, I think, right after Superman. Crimson Tide, The Firm, Get Shorty, Enemy of the State, Runaway Jury. Then he did The Birdcage, The Royal Tenenbaums. He did some really, really good movies. But the rest of them basically did nothing. Mark Pillow, who played Nuclear Man, that was literally his only movie. He went and on to sell fine wine.
And the blonde-haired Mariel
Hemingway.
What did she end up doing?
She did some stuff. Yeah, she did. And she got nominated. I think she got nominated for Academy Award before this film.
Yeah, she was huge back in the 80s.
Yeah. Granddaughter of Ernest Hemingway, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
May I read you some of the critical reviews of this brilliant movie?
Oh, please.
Yeah, go for it.
What it lacks in spectacular stunts, it makes up for in wit and an interesting plot. Was this person high when they watched this movie?
Absolute lies.
They're probably, they were related to the guys that bloody produced it.
Comes across decent, but incomplete.
Decent? No.
Incomplete, yes.
These are some of the reviews that came out at the time. Our hero contends with a galaxy of problems, including a new foe named Nuclear Man and a script sorely in need of Kryptonian vitality.
Spot on. That's a good one.
This was from the Daily Record in the UK. It says, apart from having the clumsiest title of any of the Man of Steel movies, the adventure also has the flimsiest plot.
Yeah, and I think even Christopher Reeve during this whole film, he's got two good scenes. Apart from that, even he's not great in this.
No.
And I just think it's... I watched this for the first time this week. I'd never seen it before.
I'd never seen it either.
And I didn't know what to expect. And I'd only really ever heard of Christopher Reeve. I'd never really seen many of the things he had done. And I was like, oh, wow, this guy's not a very good actor. I was really surprised that he carried, a 4-movie franchise with the plans to obviously expand. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's better in the first 2. I'd have to go back and watch those. But yeah, this one here, I just didn't see a leading man from him at all in this movie.
And the first and the second one, he was the very first Superman, which is great for its time. He played a phenomenal part in that.
Yeah.
He carried that film. Second one, not so much. And it just gets worse and worse. I think as time was going on, he knew that this was just like flogging a dead horse. And he knew it was just going nowhere. And his career was in the toilet when he was doing the third and the fourth one. So
yeah. And I think the other thing as well with Superman 4, I think at the time, the studio did a lot to make it try and help it succeed. Like when it came out, opening week, it was literally only up against 2 films. Summer School, who's heard of that?
Nope.
No. Mark Harmon and Kirstie Alley. And then La Bamba with Lou Diamond Phillips. Now, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
That
was good.
But
that was huge.
So those 3 films, opening week, only did 30 million. None of them made more than 6. They didn't do 30 million. They didn't make more than $6.5 million.
La Bamba didn't make that much money.
No, it made the most out of the 3, and it was, almost nothing.
The saddest part about this whole thing is that Princess Diana went to the opening of this movie.
Why?
And she had to sit through this piece of shit. And I think that's not fair.
Well, she sat through quite a bit at,
And
ceremonies.
did she actually sit through, or did she
she would have left. Yeah.
I think being shot and filmed in the UK is probably one of those things that you have to invite them, don't you, really?
Oh, yeah. I completely forget that that's where it was filmed.
So we didn't talk about the ending. We probably don't need to, but I got a couple of facts.
Was there an ending?
Yes. It was a shitty ending. We won't really talk about that. I don't think we need to.
It was a huge fight at the end. It was like a disappointing end to the fight.
Oh, we need to talk about, and we talked about this the other day, Trevor, is the scene where, in the fight, the town is being overrun by lava.
Oh, my God.
And the people are just standing on the sidewalk, inches from the lava, just no effect at all.
Yeah.
And then Superman cuts off the top of one mountain to just perfectly drop it into the active volcano to just plug it, and then he just freezes all the other things to just go, oh, yeah, cool, now we're back to business.
Yeah. The lava was going through, and these people just, with the priest, praying, oh, my God, what's going to happen? They were literally maybe half a meter away from it. They should have been on fire.
Yeah.
Melted you.
Like toast. Like they should have started as you, Christo, and ended up looking like me.
It reminded me of like Dante's Peak, where they should have just been on fire.
Let's do that one.
That's got to be a pod for sure.
Oh, my God.
And then from there, basically, it wraps up. It's like Superman just happens to drop him into like a tiny little hole that brings the Earth back to normal. He returns.
And then has some sort of speech.
Yeah.
I thought I could give you all the gift of the freedom from war, but I was wrong. It's not mine to give.
It's like, oh, God.
Then he finally decides he wants to catch a Lex.
Yes.
Drops him back to this same spot, doesn't take him to prison, just takes him back to the same chain gang.
No, the very same spot.
And then he goes off to the boys' home and asks if they've got a drum set. Like it wrapped up this movie in minutes where it probably needed a little bit longer.
I wonder at what point in the whole filming schedule that they went, this is going nowhere, this movie is a pile of shit and we're in a lot of trouble.
I think that's when they started it.
Yeah, probably. Because the other thing as well is you don't know the shooting schedule, right? So if they sort of kept it, pretty on page, they might have got like a third of the way through and went, oh my God, we've got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Like they're just cutting budgets left, right and centre.
What are we doing here?
And it's never more like apparent when they're doing the special effects.
Oh, the special effects were horrendous.
Like I think about the other movies that were out in the 80s. This is by far the worst for special effects.
I've done shits with better effects.
But when he called, I had to ask, was it worth another watch?
Final thoughts, Nathan.
Look, let us watch the really bad movies and we'll tell you about them. Don't watch this one. I gave it a rating of 1 out of 5. I think I was being very generous. I've now watched it twice. I will never watch it again, ever.
Yeah.
Purely based on the fact of that. There's literally, look, at the time of recording now, like we've got the new Superman in cinemas. You saw it today, said it was really good.
It's great.
I've got some friends who have seen it. One of my mates, Dion, he's a massive, massive fan of all things DC. He said it was fantastic, and he said it's the return of the DC franchise. He said it's back.
So
don't watch this. Go spend your money at the cinemas and go watch the new one.
This isn't worth another watch, Superman 4.
Well, you didn't watch it in the first place.
That's why I didn't. Is it worth another watch? No.
Christo, thoughts?
Oh, no, don't do it to yourself. don't waste your time. $17 million budget, $36.7 million in total in box office receipts. It was an absolute failure.
Yes. Is this one worth another watch, fellas?
Not even.
No.
It certainly is not.
And there will be peace. There will be peace when the people of the world want it so badly that their governments will have no choice but to give it to them. I just wish you could all see the earth the way that I see it. Because when you really look at it,
It's just one world.